What's up, YouTube? It's your boy King Wowzer. Y'all know I'm coming with that street knowledge you can't get in college. But look, I'm gonna touch on this, something that I touched on about 2 years ago on the vlog my little brother P Nice did. And I spoke on it. He wanted to touch on it. I gave him a little something, you know what I mean? But I didn't get into it in its entirety as to what happened, right? And I'm not saying what I'm about to say, I'm not doing this for a badge of honor. I don't want no kind of brownie points for it, like none of that type of stuff, recognition for nothing. But it's a story in a chapter that happened in my life that I was embarrassed about, you know what I mean? Because what I had going on in my life, I had some positive stuff going on, I had a cool little amount of money coming in, doing positive stuff, and I didn't need to be a part of no robbery. I didn't need to do a robbery. I was good, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so on January, I think that situation, January 5th, 2009, we ended up at we was at the Saturn Ranch. I remember seeing Bizzy Bone at the Saturn Ranch. Now my homegirls was out there stuck. So I got called to get some of my homegirls. I said, okay, let me go get them. Yes, I left from when I was at the house with a female to go out there and get the girls. I guess the girls was in there, they was inside the room with Bizzy Bone. Whatever they was doing, whatever happened, I don't know. You know what I mean? My mom went, oh no, let's rob this dude. Now, somewhere, somehow, from that day, that was January 5th, January 9th, I guess the warrant was put out on me, probably, I think the next day they said, I don't know. I'm leaving the west side. I stayed at my cousin's house on the 84th in Vermont. I'm a Bronco fan, so I got a Bronco beanie, a Bronco sweater with the cream and orange forces, with the orange strings, like a real diehard Bronco fan. Now, it is this time I was just hearing some things. It was just like coming out of 2008, beginning January, the Hoovers and the Main Street just cracked up whatever they had going on. So I'm thinking the police follow me from the west side to the east side, right? So I remember which street I took up from Vermont. I went straight up Manchester. I want to say I made a right on Avalon or San Pedro, whatever. I ended up on 88 in McKinley, right? Passing the Avalon Gardens up. I meant to go through there, but I kept straight. I'm at the stop sign on McKinley and 88. Police get on me. I'm like, damn, man, I feel like they've been chilling me. Like they pulled me over, blurred me. So I'm sitting just like I'm sitting in my car. They don't even get out the car. They just sat there. So now more police came up, a lot of them. Then I see a bird. I'm like, man, what's going on? I'm looking confused, like, what is this? So now they do the get out the car, driver, get out the car, place your hands. They had me proned out. I had to listen, bag up. So they tell me I was wanted for a robbery. Like this car was involved in a robbery. I'm like, robbery? I mean, I don't do robberies. I'm like, man, what somebody did in my car? I'm not thinking about January 5th. You know what I mean? But anyway, we get in there, I get in a parking center. So they had some detectives come down and holler at me. It's just the police, they're robbery detectives. The police just saying all kind of stuff. I don't even know. I ain't no rookie at this. I go in there, robbery detectives come in there. They saying what they got me for, and they played the video. Okay, the video got me, y'all. Pulling up to the place, me and my homies getting out the car. You can see it's clear as day, it's like you're watching a movie. I push the alarm button, go through the entry, go to the hotel lobby. I'm through the lobby to the elevator. It got me get on the elevator. It got us getting off the elevator. It don't got me going inside the room, and when I came out, it don't got me coming out of the room. It got us going towards the room where Bizzy Bone was staying, right? That was that. And they saying a robbery, so I'm like, okay, where's the robbery at? So they tell me, who is these dudes? Of course I'm not finna give up these dudes. Who know them dudes? So I let them play their hand. What they got me for, they saying everything, where it carries, all this. Okay, you can take me down. Take me to my cell. I go down, it's a football game on. I'm watching the football game like shit, you know. I know that was the next day of the game. I just went down just watching the news through the door. All of a sudden I hear a familiar voice. I'm like, that sounds like a familiar voice. Man, I look out, it's one of my homies, the dude that was with me, one of the dude that got out that car. I'm like, man, how they get you? Man, how they get this dude? You know what I'm saying? Now it would look like I said something. They got me first. I'm finna be 100 with y'all. I'm like, oh man, what is this? So I call the homies. They telling me what's going on. They like, hey man, they said they looking for Wooty Woo. They got Wooty Woo, which is the homie name, right? That I just seen. I said, no man, I ain't. I don't know how they get him. Like, I don't know. I don't know what happened with that. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, they got everybody, right? Like some days they got everybody. But what had happened was, when I found out, I didn't identify the dudes. By them, when they got my license plate, they found out from Grape Street, right? So they said, okay, that's Bow Wow, he's known. So they called our gang officer, Marrucus. Marrucus said, that's Wooty Whoop, that's Wooty Whoop, and that's Wooty Whoop. And that's how they got them other dudes, right? It was that. Bizzy Bone, he did a video about that robbery and said, hey, he didn't do no telling. But the dudes on that case, they was telling on each other, like somebody was doing some telling on each other and stuff. I'm like, nah, ain't no, they were telling on each other. One dude did say something. One dude was loose at the lips, you know what I mean? So anyway, so we fighting the case. They got us for robbery. So when we went to prelim, we go to prelim. So we go to prelim, Bizzy Bone don't show up. He not coming. I already know he's gonna come in because somebody I was talking to at the time, I'm not gonna say his name for a variety of reasons, like, you know what I'm saying? But he's like, no, you can go to prelim and stuff like that. We got him, he good. All this type of stuff. I'm like, all right, I should go to prelim. I mean, we had to go to prelim. You just telling me I have confidence at prelim and trial and stuff, you know what I'm saying? They got him. I'm like, all right, so we go to prelim. There's no victim. But they did have some statements, somebody that was made on me. Somebody made some statements, right? I'm like, damn, man, it was crazy. Because that situation, somebody that made statements on me, they was right, immediately hit with that red tag. And if you've been to that county jail, you know what that red tag mean. If you got any crimes and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But so they bound us over. But my bail went from $300,000 to 1.4 million. And it went from robbery to home invasion because he was in an inhabited dwelling. Like he was in a hotel room, you know what I mean? So it was that. So Bizzy Bone, is he considered a rat for making a police report saying, hey, I was robbed. He said he was beaten. The police report said he was beaten, he was choked, he was in the room with the girls and stuff. And somehow he passed out. He don't remember he had passed out. So I'm thinking, once I'm watching the video and got the report, so let me see how I'm finna fight this. You got me getting off the elevator. You got me getting on the elevator, up to the room, towards the room. But you don't got me going in the room and you ain't got me out the room. I ain't in that room. So why I'm gonna say I'm in a room or it don't got nobody doing a robbery. So why would I say it's a robbery? Why would anybody say it's a robbery occurred? Bizzy Bone said it was a robbery. You said you passed out, so why would you say you robbed? How you wanna know? Like, you don't ever think that them girls just walked off with your jewelry? I don't think he thought that. I don't know. But I'm fighting 65 years for life for that, man. You know what I mean? And it was crazy. I'm reading the little comments yesterday watching this Bizzy Bone story. Watching this little situation. I'm just watching it, like reading the comments. I'm like, man, they crazy. So I want to ask, do y'all consider Bizzy Bone a rat or a telltale for that situation? You know what I mean? And they saying Gucci Man made a police report saying some goods was took off him. They was like, oh, it's a video. So on Bizzy Bone thing, so they got us on the video on the news. They showed me wearing, he said it was his JoJo watch, the jewelry. Some of that jewelry's mine, right? With the pictures of his jewelry and stuff, okay? He says his jewelry. I'm saying, hey, that's not his jewelry. None of this stuff is mine and stuff. But he claiming the stuff that's on the picture, he's saying is his. So that's like, oh man, that's a robbery, bro. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, I never said it was his, right? But he was worried about, it was a relationship, me and Bizzy Bone, we had a mutual friend. So he was able to retrieve 2 items. We made it happen. We made that happen. Like, y'all, we made that happen. He got his little jewelry stuff. Okay, cool, you got it. He wasn't gonna come to court. Bizzy came to trial. He said everything happened. What happened? We did have a lineup. He didn't pick us out in the lineup. So I'm gonna give him that. But why would he pick? He could have picked me out of the lineup because I was all over the news. I'm the only one that was like plastering over every news outlet. I was plastering on it. I was just everywhere, man. But I had a hung jury. Let me tell you what happened. So we go to trial. We had a hung jury. It was 11-1. So they tell jury 1, like, to try to change everyone. They make us go back downstairs, make them go to the back to fix that 1 to make it a 12 before they can get a guilty verdict. Jury 1 came back out, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. She changed the case. We had a hung jury, it was 11-1. But you would think, why did they have a hung jury if he came to court, or you said they got some jury? Yes, they got some of the stuff. They retrieved some of that stuff. Bizzy Bone molested his daughter. So what we we attacked his character. Like, let him know what he's on probation for. My lawyer went in on that. And I'm assuming that jury 1 may have been molested or something. She was just sensitive to that subject. And she just said we was not guilty. She said, man, nah, I ain't changing that. What they said, they got some of the items. Is a chain. They said they got a watch and a chain. They had that in court. They didn't get it from me. Somebody said they got it. It was like a drop that happened, and some crazy weird stuff happened. Police ended up getting it when they ain't supposed to get it, right? They got him on the stand. They got the video, which kind of placed us there at the scene where they said the robbery. I'm saying there was no robbery. What went on in the room? I don't know what went on in that room. I never went in the room. Y'all don't got proof that I went inside this room. I didn't go in that room. But somebody said something. Somebody said something. They ain't supposed to say it, man. And it almost cost us our life. Like, for real. And I was so embarrassed to even be in jail for that shit. It was in the newspaper. It was just everywhere, man. They was serving me. I'm like, damn, man, this Bizzy Bone situation is crazy. It was everywhere, radio station. Because the job I was doing, I'm working with P. Carroll. I'm doing community stuff. Bizzy Bone, he a rapper from Bone Thugs and Harmony. And it got a lot of attention. It was cameras all at my court date, my first 2 court dates. And they was just there. I'm just like, man, this is crazy. My kids talking about it on the phone. I'm like, this is bad. Everybody saying, damn, man, you in jail for robbing a broke rapper. It was just bad for me, y'all. I just wanted to get through that shit smooth. I'm like, I don't even want to tell people what I'm in here for, man. I just wanted to get this. That shit was just dumb. That was not on my mind about a goddamn robbery of Bizzy Bone. I'm like, man, I'm a fan of Bone Thugs. Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing right now with Bone Thugs because Bone Thugs didn't put me in that. I can say I put myself in that situation, going to somebody's aid in that fashion. Bizzy Bone, okay, he made a police report. Of course, if you report anything, you don't want nobody making no police report on it. Just look at Gucci Mane's situation and Push Icy now. They want to say, oh, they did that, but they don't expect the man to tell. You know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, that was the situation with Bizzy Bone, y'all. So what y'all think? Should he be considered a rat? Or he just wanted his stuff back? Whatever you said was taken. Which some items, they got some of the items. This is all, you can type up Bizzy Bone rob. It's all, what I'm saying what I went to jail for and what's already out there. Because don't try to hit me with all this different philosophy. See, y'all, just theory stuff y'all be doing. Don't hit me with that. But you can type in Bizzy Bone rob, Bizzy Bone tell the story of robs, and y'all can take it from there. Well, it's your boy King Wowzer. Y'all know I'm coming with that street knowledge you can't get in college. My story, I feel I can tell it. I'm gone.